Morning, folks. And today there is only a few of us with you, but we are happy to share this with you. So, first of all, a hairy Mickey Mouse to you all, as my little brother used to say, instead of Christmas, of course. But a few amusing questions of quizzes today. And I am going to start with the first question, which is a simple one, which you probably, I don't know if you'll be able to answer on, but here goes. The word P.G. Wodehouse. What does P.G. stand for?
Peter George.
Unfortunately, P.G. Wodehouse being quite a superior and very grand type of person. His parents called him Peregrine Grenville.
Very smart.
Oh my goodness.
As you could probably guess, he went to a private school.
As they did, yes.
But there you go. We have another question from
okay.
good friends.
No. Vehicle registration, this is. Which country has got the vehicle registration RI?
Oh, one of the Irish ones? One of no. India?
Anyone else want to try?
Well, I would say Republic of Ireland.
You would, but it looks like it. It's Indonesia.
Oh
my goodness.
Around Indonesia. Right. Okay, here we go again. The Zimbabwe has been in the news quite recently.
Sorry, what has?
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I still can't make that word out.
Zimbabwe.
Rhodesia, as was.
What is the capital?
Harare.
Hey.
Yeah, Harare.
A seagull. Yes, Harare. And another one. And another one. Oh, this is one which will amuse you.
Okay.
Because it's of our era. The agony aunt, Angela Rayner, has a very famous son. Who is he and what does he do? What is his profession? Who is he? What is his profession? Angela Rayner. We all remember Angela Rayner. She was an agony aunt in the Daily Mirror.
Oh, gosh.
You all know him. You all know him very well. Think of the surname first. Rayner, chap. No? Does surprise me a little, my friends. His name is Jay Rayner, and he's a food critic. He's on telly quite a lot.
Yeah.
What kind of critic?
Yeah, he's in the Guardian. He writes in the Guardian.
Yeah. And he was on telly last night.
Okay.
If you watch MasterChef, he was on telly because they did the critics in MasterChef. The critics had to produce food.
I'm one of these cooks. Or something always goes wrong, so I avoid the food programs. It makes me depressed. They always look so nice, and I'm so tempted to do it, and it never works out. Okay, I've got another one now. If I can read I used a green pen, would you believe it? Still, that's a thing, isn't it? I used a pen. Okay, you'll never guess this one. Which character opened the New York Stock Exchange on June the 8th, 1999?
Which character?
So it must be someone from Hollywood.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse or something.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Stupid.
You haven't got it yet, but you're close.
Oh, Minnie Mouse?
No, it's Noddy.
Oh, okay.
Noddy.
I can really remember who Noddy was, mind you.
Yes, Enid Blyton's character. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that really a Disney? No.
And yes, it's been the books have been changed slightly nowadays. You can't call someone big ears.
Okay.
Can't call somebody what?
Big ears.
You can't
Oh,
call
As
really?
in naughty and big ears. Sort of thing.
I shouldn't
yeah.
think you could call them Noddy either, actually.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But look, the deaf community call people angry. That's their name. Instead of their, given childhood name, the sign name is angry or hat or fat or skinny. This is how the deaf community works. It's absolutely direct.
How about a question from you then, Nancy?
Okay.
How about a question what?
How about you ask a question?
I'm sorry, that sound is so crap, but there we go. Yeah. When was the British first colour TV broadcast to the public? Colour TV program broadcast to the public.
Oh my gosh.
Queen Elizabeth's coronation.
Well, you're way out.
1960.
Still out.
Is he going in the right direction?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it to show the changing of the guard or something like that?
No. It was a big, a sort of world-class competition.
Eurovision? No.
65.
Nearer.
The moon.
It was that late, was it? My goodness. It
1st
shows how
of
much we
July.
remember. Pardon me?
1st of July, 1967, Wimbledon was the first colour broadcast for the British public. And the reasons included, BBC had broadcast to the United States already years before, but the reasons included the number of people who had colour TVs because they were $1,000, whereas black and white were $300. And the BBC participated. The United States was first to broadcast colour TV to the public. And the BBC participated, goodness knows how, because we had PAL and they had NSTC or NTSC. So there were different waves to broadcast on. But the BBC, first of all, broadcast colour programmes to the United States, North America. Yeah. So 1967 was the first public colour TV broadcast by the BBC. BBC Two, by the way.
BBC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's a thing.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, they had broadcast test programmes to set people before that, to make sure that it was all going to work.
That's much later. Probably that Queen Elizabeth coronation. That was probably the first in black and white, was it? I know not many people have one because we used to all crowd round to somebody's house who might have a television, and watch through shop windows as well.
Yeah.
Television.
Oh yes, I remember that very well.
God. Yeah.
because as you say, Angela, you know, there was I was discussing earlier on the subject, you know, that you know those with television were usually quite wealthier people than any of us around, you know.
Yeah.
So you kind of they were looked upon as rather a bit snobby, a bit that
Well,
they had television. You know. You're going to tell
um,
us, Hattie, that you owned one, aren't you?
sorry.
When did you have a telly, Angela? Hattie?
Well, Granny got the television first, and it was ages after the other kids in our primary school had TV. Their families were like working class, regular, started earning when they were, you know, teenagers, and they were on reasonable pay, etc. Anyway, the primary school, country primary school, and their family used to go on holidays abroad, and they got TVs way before we did. So in the 60s, my granny got a black and white, and then age about mid 60s, 12, 13, 14 years, we were allowed to watch Chuck and PT, which were the helicopter pilots who go and rescue people, the Mounties, which was about Canadian mounted police. You know, that she chose what we watched.
Yes.
I can remember my girls used to watch Magic Roundabout, which was brilliant because
yeah.
it was time for bed, and because it was on the telly, no argument, they went up to bed.
It worked. I know.
It worked.
Unbelievable these days. Oh dear.
That's that. They were sat in the wombles and all things like that. You know.
Remember, you're a womble.
Oh, that's the one. Yes, so they used the Beethoven, the Mozart 41, which was quite famous for Madame Chalet, who used to dance to that, to the it always surprised people that I said it's Mozart, and they would go, "No, it's a Wombles. It's."
Yeah.
But there you go. Anyway, going on with my little questions. Is another whose name was what? W.B. Yeats, the poet.
Sorry?
The Irish poet W.B. Yeats. What does W.B. stand for?
Oh,
Be good anything, couldn't it?
yeah.
This is much simpler one. It's William Butler. William Butler Yeats, Irish poet, who is brilliant, I thought, and I still think is a brilliant poet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, I've only got one more, so perhaps Angela, you could give us your question.
Oh, right. Yeah. In 2023, who is trying and succeeding in changing the date of Christmas Day?
Who
succeeded in changing the date of Christmas Day? Hattie.
Some Ukrainians, Christian Ukrainians.
Yeah. Well, it was the president who did it. Why?
To disalign from the Russian Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's a one which I wouldn't have even known, but guessed even. You know, something you can guess, really, is it? You know, but well done. Done very well there.
Yes, excellent.
I've got two more questions, by the way.
Okay, I've got three.
Go for it. Well, you know,
I'm happy.
I've only got one more.
Okay.
So, anyway, Hattie, go ahead.
Okay, what's the difference between a mushroom and a toadstool?
Oh God, I did used to know that.
Well, toadstools are bound to be poisonous, and
Ah.
mushrooms sometimes are.
No, it's different from that. I don't know what the difference is. I know as a child going and collecting mushrooms, there was a white mushroom with a toadstool that was actually very poisonous. And I think, I know, with the mushroom, the poisonous one had different color gills underneath. But whether that answers Hattie's question, I have no idea.
Hattie has disappeared.
I've disappeared because I'm looking up a readable answer for you.
All right, okay. It was quite worrying, given the topic.
Sorry. Okay, so, I mean, Ray, what have you got to say on the matter?
I don't know. I'm very, very much in the dark there.
Right, well, Ray's the nearest, okay? I've disappeared because I'm going to read you this. There's no standard definition for a toadstool and no clear distinction between toadstools and mushrooms.
Wow.
Both terms refer to the fruiting bodies produced by fungi. Most of these fungi are harmless or even beneficial to plants, but there are a few that can cause problems, such as honey fungus and the fairy ring fungus, etc., etc. But the point is, now you know the definition, but the definition that is largely used socially is that mushrooms are edible and toadstools are poisonous, or that mushrooms are sort of more pretty or something. I mean, it's all conjecture what somebody might mean by a mushroom or a toadstool, and they may not realise that I just think they're exactly the same thing. So I'm not necessarily clear what they think it is when I'm having a conversation. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I can remember going out with someone who used to identify whether they were edible or not. And I can remember he got this huge puffball, which are edible. And we got back home and fried it in butter. And it was very steak-like. It was absolutely delicious. And of course, it was huge portions.
And they're called puffball steaks.
Oh, are they? So, well, I can confirm then, you cook them right in butter and a tiny bit of garlic, they actually taste like steak.
You cut them almost an inch thick, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember doing that. And it was they grow huge. And we did used to go and identify just for fun. This was sort of I was living in Sidcup at the moment, so it was that sort of area. Going in the woods, which was good fun. Good fun.
Sadly, most people only cook the white mushrooms, the ones you get in supermarkets and things like that nowadays. They're a bit bland, I find. But other mushrooms I quite like.
Don't know some of the greengrocers in the Gloucester Road who are owned by people from the Indian subcontinent have a little packet of a range of mushrooms and fungus, whatever you call them, different colors, different sorts, and you can get mushrooms as kind of chestnut mushrooms, they're called. They're a dark brown. So it depends where you shop.
Chanterelles are very good.
If you will go to Waitrose, you won't get these things.
Well, friends of mine run a fungus emporium outside Bristol, and they grow fungi of different kinds. So watch out for eco packs of variety of fungi, including hedgehog.
Oh, okay. When I was a child, the actual, the gypsies, the Roma gypsies who used to come, they had their route. They'd come to the village and they'd sell pegs and chrysanthemums that they had made. And my mum would say, let's go down and see the bonfire to see if they'd actually got a hedgehog because they would have encased it in mud and put it in the embers of the fire.
You're talking about a hedgehog mushroom or a hedgehog?
No, I'm talking about a real hedgehog. Yeah,
A
no.
hedgehog.
No, that. I mean, I grew up in the country, and my mum grew up in the country in Kent. So, you know, there's a lot of. We knew a lot of folklore facts, if you like, and the Roma gypsies used to go. You know, they come down the village, and my mum would be out with a bucket and a shovel, because if the horses, they had horses, so she would be getting the horse manure for her garden, and then the other women would be practically fighting her for.
Good for the roses, I'm told.
Absolutely. Well, I think for us it was the house we rented at the moment then had a strawberry bed, so definitely it was for strawberries. It was to make sure we had strawberries.
Anyway, another question.
Oh, okay. No. My friend who's a musician gave me this one. I don't know. Depends how musical you all are. She suggested. I ask you, which label had the most Beach Boys hits on it? So the Beach Boys apparently published with various companies, and one of them had most of their hits on it. No enthusiasts here. No.
Numbers.
You're too young. That's must be what it is. Actually, it could be.
Numbers.
It was a Capital.
Capital.
Oh, Capital.
Yeah, but okay. You've got another one, right?
Yes, this is my last one, and I don't know if you will know this, because actually I am an enormous classical music fan. You know, it's one of my things in life. You know, but do you know what? I've just given you the answer to what the question was. How embarrassing is that?
Really?
Well, we now need the question.
Well,
so
tell
we
us the question.
My question was Eric Coates.
Yes.
What sort of music did he write?
Well, that's a good question, because it's
Yeah.
light music that he's most known for.
Yes, he's quite famous for his things like the Dam Buster.
Oh
thing.
gosh, yes, yes.
On films, he did a
Right.
lot
Film
for films
music,
and all that
yeah.
type of thing. You know, he became Sir Eric after a while, and which was a bit much because he was an enormously right-wing chap, you know, who believed in Britain. Right. So anyway, that was the question.
Well, it was a good question.
Yes. I think that would be classed as a senior moment. Anyway, have you got any more?
I've got two.
Yeah.
Anyone else? That is
You go, Patsy.
okay. I'll go with you'll know this one, Ray, without a doubt. In which film did Greta Garbo say, "I want to be alone"?
I want to be alone.
Gosh.
Biddy. You know, I can't remember.
Oh, anyone? Grand Hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen
I
it.
I'm gaily assuming, of course, all these answers are correct. I mean, I've got them off the internet. And if I'd done that when I was doing my doctorate, I don't think they'd have let me through. But, they're usually right. They're usually right, she said.
Yeah. Hattie, give us another one.
Okay. This is about sign language, which deaf people use. I don't know which question to ask you, really. Perhaps I could just ask you a very simple one. What's the main difference between American and English sign language?
Oh gosh.
Like, any one difference will help. Have you seen it on telly? You've seen American Sign Language being done for announcements and stuff?
Well, possibly without registering it was the
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know the difference.
I didn't think there was one. But
There you go. That's kind of why I wanted to frame the question.
no, tell us. Do
Okay. American alphabet is done on one hand. I can't do it, but it's done on one hand. British
Wow.
alphabet. We love our two-handers. I mean, what's this?
Yeah.
What's this letter? B. That's the letter B.
Oh gosh.
What's that letter?
See?
See?
And that letter?
D.
D.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that letter, oh, sorry. That, and that are different letters in our alphabet. L, M, N.
Oh wow.
So we like our two-handers in Britain.
Mm.
And the other thing that you need to know is that deaf communities, well, they talk a lot to each other, and there's hardly been any sign language on telly until recently. So your local dialects in sign language are numerous, especially for common words like mother, father, house, or, you know, bus, car, common words. Often there develops a local dialect of it, if you like. I don't mean dialect, really. I mean different word choices. The grammar tends to be the same. Because you're deaf, you want to know what the hell people are talking about first. So please say the topic first.
Very
When
good.
was sign language accepted as a language in its, a language? Is it a World Heritage item? Sign language itself?
It's not a World Heritage item.
No,
it's not. The rules have still only got to national level. And about 3 years ago in the UK, it was accepted as a language.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. I knew there was something that happened about sign language, which actually was very sensible.
Yes.
Here's an amusing story on on deaf people in the sense that quite a number of years ago, I was asked if I would do a discussion group with a number of deaf teenagers. And I said, yeah, I'm prepared to do that, something on the television which they have watched and so on. They said, but you'd need to listen to the television along with them. I said, how am I going to do that? And they said, well, we will fashion you some ear things which they use. And so they made this plastic stuff, and they said, that's okay. And I said, yeah, that's fine. And what the teacher did, she palmed me a bit of the stuff which is used to make it, and I came on and sat there, and she said, you okay? And I said, yes, I seem to have got something in this ear. And I went like that, and said that, and said, that was it. And the children were quite surprised because they thought it had gone through my head and out the other ear. So we discussed how it is easy to not con people, how to make people think that you're doing something that you're not doing, and we had quite a serious discussion about that, which was most amusing. Anyway.
Well, I got one more.
Give us your last question then. That's it.
Okay. Whereabouts in the then called Soviet Union was Yul Brynner born?
Oh gosh.
Yul Brynner, somewhere in the Soviet Union, as was.
Mongolia?
No,
Mongolia, somewhere that way? Oh no, that's China, isn't it?
you're going the right way.
Okay.
I couldn't make out what you said, Angela.
Oh well, I said Mongolia, and then I corrected myself and said, "Oh no, that's China, not the USSR."
The
Well, it's its
Crimean.
own country.
No, not Ukraine.
Crimean.
Siberia.
Oh,
Siberia.
okay, yeah.
Right, goodness.
I was mentally, possibly my map's not in my head isn't very good. I was traveling north from Mongolia, but I thought I was, maybe I was.
But Siberia is still part of the USSR,
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
yes, yes.
where
Putin,
Mongolia is its own country.
I think so.
Yeah, people don't realize, I think, sometimes how big Russia is, you know, because you've got the hot states nearly. You've got the part of Russia which is quite warm,
Yes.
and then you've got Siberia and that type of thing, which is pretty cold. So
Mm,
that segment, that an enormous amount between them is quite remarkable, isn't it? So,
I made
yes, there's a chap called Sebastian Orlando Figgies, which wrote a book. He wrote a book called the People's Tragedy, which is about, you know, from before the First World War, before the revolution, right up to Khrushchev's time.
right.
The fascinating history of it is just, it blows your mind, everything, you know, how different it is, and how much it changed, and, you know, the privations of it. And you think we had it bad, yeah, he's really
yeah.
bad.
I've made a discovery over the last few days. I'm very happy to. I expect you all knew anyway, but when I was growing up, one of the exciting things I found on the ancient radio in our possession was the BBC World Service, which I believe is the case, but I certainly thought was the case. Came on after all the other radio, well, it's called the Home Service then, programs finished at say 10, 11, I don't, whatever it was, 11, I think. You same wavelength you got. Anyway, so I thought in my stupidity that this was still the case, that you could only get it at night. And I have made the wonderful discovery you can get the BBC World Service all day. And it is really interesting. You know, I get so much more up to date with what's happening around the world by having the BBC World Service on. I'm thrilled to bits, you know. But imagine I have gone, it must be 70 years, for thinking I could only get it at night.
Yeah. Patsy, what wavelength is it on?
Oh, just a minute. Let me think. Where did I write it down? Can I text it to you when we finish?
Yeah, by all means, yeah. And I'm going to ask the group if I could send a video of wood ear fungus to you. I made the video yesterday, and I am halfway through eating it with my breakfast.
Yeah. I have. Yeah. Okay. So long as you don't email it using my iCloud account, which is one I don't use, but it's the one that my granddaughter put on my iPad, but I use Gmail. So if you do it
Well,
by Gmail,
I'll send it to Patsy as the moderator for this group, if
okay,
that's all right.
yeah.
Oh,
There you
It's only
go.
a few seconds long.
the other thing I need to tell you about how I get the World Service all day now, is like I currently don't have a separate radio in the kitchen because my friend George kindly installed me with a small television set in the kitchen,
Ooh,
not on my request, and I have to get all my radio channels through the television.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so I have to hit in this number for everything, you know, rather than going one, two. Well, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever for television channels, but for my radio channels, they tend to be three. I think they all are three-figure numbers. Tend to begin. They either begin with a 2 or a 7. So the number for World Service is something like 704, but I need to check.
mm, mm, mm.
So that's why the number will seem a bit strange, but somebody a bit brighter than me can probably work out how to. If you've got a copy of something like the Radio Times, it will have those details.
Yeah, yeah.
I gave up on the Radio Times. I was so angry at the way the cost went up, but I'm going to have to go back to it because I'm currently managing by buying. Wait for it. The Daily Mail every Saturday.
Oh,
It's only once a
oh,
week.
you sinner, you sinner.
I know, but it's once a week. It's an excellent television and radio thing, and
No,
it only costs £1 a week. You see,
I know. I wouldn't put any money into the pocket of the owner of that
I know it's wrong. Isn't it?
rag. Rag.
You could get the Guardian at the weekend, which has the whole week's television in it.
Yeah, that's
Does it?
really good
Oh.
actually. Yeah, and it does have. Yeah, it's really good.
I get
Although
my
the radio-
Guardian. Sorry.
I
just-
do.
Go on.
Yeah, the I buy the Radio Times because in lockdown I found I was needing to watch a lot more television than normal, and it's amazing the different, you know, the PBS, the public service broadcast of America, because I lived in New York for 3 years. It's amazing. Some of their programs are very good indeed. And it's you know, I've watched more television, I think, more good television through having the Radio Times. So
yeah,
but it is expensive. It's expensive.
yes, but it's at least. I mean, you see, with the Guardian, I get it on day 2 because my friend next door buys it and kindly passes it over to me when she's finished it. So
That's a good idea. Yeah.
well, it's economical, but it means I'm always a bit behind, and just doesn't do for radio and television. Yeah, it's not good enough for radio and television use. So, yeah, I think I'll do that. That's my New Year's resolution. I will return to buying the Radio Times, and I will dump the Saturday edition of the Daily Mail. Well.
Anyway, I think we've all had a very fun time. Even though we've been a select bunch, I think it's been most enjoyable. It's very, very good to see you all. Anyway,
What is it next week? I can't remember.
Oh dear,
I think we have something
that is
more.
me, I'm afraid.
It's you, isn't it, Ray?
Got me again.
Yes.
And this is something. Being an educational person yourself, Angela, that education. What is it for, and why do we need it?
Yeah, it sounds brilliant.
This is going to be good. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I
brilliant.
shall be doing a bit on that because it's one of the. I think I'm quite passionate about education and real education. You know, and not the ersatz stuff that we give to children nowadays. You know, it's
Project.
totally without. You know, they've stopped doing music and drama and you know and all this stuff because children don't need it. I want to go and grab the educational minister firmly by the throat.
Oh, start with Gove, because I think he was the one that started the downward, the downward slip.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the week after that,
It's
got
me.
Angela. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do.
And then may I applaud Patsy for getting week 3's person to come along, because this is David Moat.
Yes, it was
Oh,
no.
brilliant!
It
Brilliant.
Hasn't been on before, and
Brilliant.
and it's rather apposite with what is going on in Israel at the moment.
Oh,
This
brilliant.
book is Peace, Work and Justice in the Context of Gaza.
Yeah.
It would be good.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
But
And
we,
of course,
yes.
at the end of that month, we have Harriet, who is
Oh, God, yes.
introducing Cuba.
unfortunately, Harriet now needs to move it to
Ah,
February.
right.
I am casting around. I've had to put in today's broadcast. I've
Mm.
had to be arranged. I haven't currently got anyone to replace Harriet, Hattie, on the last one of this month. So, if anyone would like to make a suggestion, I'm happy to make the approach. It has to be somebody who won't be offended at being asked at the last minute.
Mm.
I will give it some thought.
Mm.
But,
Right.
otherwise, it's a bit of a floppy ending to what's otherwise a really good month. So,
But we will, as one of my uncles used to say about things like this, non desperandum.
oh,
Do not despair. We will achieve something because we are good.
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. All
Right.
right.
Right. Well, that leaves you, amusingly enough, 5 minutes till 12 o'clock.
Wow.
5 minutes. Sorry.
5 minutes to 12.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, we finished early, guys. I'm really sorry.
Wow.
But only by 5 minutes, which is very good.
It's
That's
not bad.
pretty good.
It's not
That's
bad.
pretty good.
We done well there.
We done
Anyway,
Yeah.
will I possibly see you on Sunday, Patsy?
That's the plan. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
I
Should
will
be.
see you. And Angela, if we don't see each other before, next Friday.
Yeah. It's Friday. See you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.